Oi, eu sou a Imara Lima e estou aqui para apresentar para vocês mais uma edição do Cinearte Variety, seu programa semanal de variedades e entretenimento. Hoje a gente vai falar sobre um filme que eu adorei, A Sad, Beautiful World, um triste, belo mundo. Esse é o título do filme libanês que me tocou o coração. Eu tive o prazer de conversar com o diretor, Cyril Aris, e com os dois protagonistas do filme, Monia aqui e Hassan aqui. Vamos lá?
لازم تتمسك منيح لأنه الترين بلاش يمشي. الترين من بيروت طار من كل
So, A Sad, Beautiful World.
Yes.
Sad?
Sometimes it's sad and sometimes it's
crying.
beautiful.
The first scene already put me to cry. I was emotional quite a lot, big part of the movie.
Okay.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I have been kind of hard this year. How did this story come up to you to write the script?
The love story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was this desire to tell this love story against the recent history of Lebanon. You know, trying to talk about all the upheavals and the ups and downs of of our country that, you know, we have a very complex relationship with through the very specific story of this couple. These two antagonistic forces of nature, you know, him with his extreme optimism and his vision of the world, and her, you know, more pragmatic and down to earth, and having them collide and, you know, deal with questions on the legacy, on whether or not to bring children into this world, on, you know, can their love survive the circumstances around them, because we are very much affected by all the circumstances that happen on a national level.
Did you guys leave? Any of you guys leave war? Really?
We just had one.
Yeah.
we just had one in recent
Lebanon.
months. Yeah.
Then there
And
was
you
the
were there?
explosion in 2015.
I was there. And if you
No,
were-
We were
I
shooting during the war.
You were
Yeah.
shooting,
Yes, we were
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
It became this thing about doing a lot of films about war, and was actually the first one. The first thing is already. It was first film of war that really shocked me, because you have that sensation. I don't want to give a spoiler or something, but you give that sensation. Oh no, right? It's like.
No, but I think
What do you do next? How those lives can be destroyed?
No, because you're talking about the opening shot happening in the
Yeah.
war. You know, again, this is not a war film at all. It's
Yeah.
just this
Yeah.
this.
It's a love story.
It's a love story.
And a beautiful love story.
But the opening shot has, like, you know, this beautiful moment, this joyful moment of their births as babies, but against a context of war, because they're born in the 80s as Lebanon was going through a civil war. So, you know, from the get-go you get this contrast between the joyfulness and the sadness of the context around.
How did you cast them? You've done a lot of work, huh? You being a director, you actress, you're part of the academy, London, LA.
Yes, I'm a director, and so that was one of the rare times where I acted for two reasons. One, I would do anything for Cyril. I have a lot of love and respect for his work, and also because I fell in love with the character. So I was like, if I'm going to get out of my comfort zone as a director, then it should be for a character that I feel so connected to, and whose hopelessness and desire to love really mirrors like so much of what we go through as Lebanese people. Because I think what I love about the script the most is that each of us is Nino and Yasmina. Cyril is both of them, Hassan is both of them, and I'm both of them.
How you wrote the script for her?
Yeah, I did actually write write the part of Yasmina for her.
But he didn't tell me this.
Yeah, I had to.
So how was it the break? How did he tell you?
I had to, tell her that, listen, I wrote this part and I was very, much inspired with, as I was writing, I was picturing only you, and, you write scenes and
she had the resistance because it said I'm a director.
she did actually in the beginning, and she told me, like, why don't you go and see, like, I love the part, I fell in love with the part, but I really want to, take time to think about it, and in the meantime go and see other actors, see, if you, like, don't try to get a bit out of it, and I just couldn't find someone that would match exactly my vision of this character, which was her. So after a bit of convincing and a bit of work, I was able to convince her. And Nino also, I was looking at several actors, and we have great actors in Lebanon. But then what I like the most about Hassan is that he has like a very wide range, like he's instantly lovable, so as soon as you see him on screen, you want to follow his story, you want to spend the 2 hours.
Guys, both of you.
His sparkling eyes, obviously, there's so much affection and love in his eyes, but at the same time, he can show a much darker side to his personality, and a much more vulnerable side, which is what Yasmina kind of brings out of him, this reality check. So like I thought they were greatly complementary, and yes, I do agree, their eyes, and that's why I have a scene where it's really an extreme close-up of just their eyes, and the scene happens through only one eye.
How was it, Hassan?
For me, I usually don't really like auditions and going to do this first thing we have to always do, but with him it was really comfortable, and he directly made me feel at ease. When I think for actors, usually all we have in front of the camera is our confidence in ourselves, and sometimes when we don't have that so much, it's up to the director to remind you how good you are, how really that you can actually do this. And he actually did this since that first day in the casting, and it made me feel very comfortable. That's why it was a very nice casting.
Yeah, it's true. Our audition, I think, was like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time together.
He's like, stop, I don't want to see anybody anymore.
But he came in for 15 minutes.
Directly, I knew during the casting that he was gonna pick me because we were doing the audition.
Feeling, right?
No, I actually saw him on the corner of my eye. He was standing with the person on the camera, and he was doing like this in his head. And I was like, okay, now if you should feel comfortable, you should.
But then he did a chemistry read with us.
Yeah.
And I was in London and he was in Lebanon, so we did a Zoom chemistry read with Cyril, looking at if we had chemistry or not. And I think we did.
I think you guys have a lot of chemistry.
I was also very happy when I knew it was her, because in the beginning I didn't know. Then when I knew it was her, I texted Sri. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you.
That's what he said. We never know if it's true.
When I read the director, I didn't know you were a director. I said, no, you are an actress, right? An actress
very good
born.
actress.
It was.
Yeah, I act every day as a director.
But
I act like I have the answers for everything.
You know what the actors go for the process, right?
Honestly, I always knew how much the actor is the most vulnerable person on set. We know this as directors, but being in that position really made me aware of the beauty of acting, but also the vulnerable play. You're naked and you're relinquishing complete control and trusting everyone, and that takes courage, which I had thanks to the team, you know.
I love the film.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry that we have to stop, because otherwise I would be talking with you guys longer.
Thank you so much.
A lot of success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gostaram? Nós também, então vocês já sabem. Próxima semana, Cinearte Variety, comigo, a Imara Lima, aqui no VRT Channel.